It seems like just like the Republicans have their splits, the Democrats have their splits too. Sometimes there's some friction between labor and environmentalists, and so some thought, well, maybe this is a victory for labor over environmentalists here. But what's your take?
I can't speak to the labor versus environmental. I mean, I think we are a very broad, as the Republican Party would say, we're a broad tent with a diverse group of people with ideas. I think that my approach is pragmatic. I really don't see this as an opportunity to build personal profile or do anything. We just need to get some stuff done. We're solutionists. My entire mantra for the Democrats, and I said that I hope that the House can take this on as well, is that we're going to lead with solutions. There's a number of issues that affect the people of Montana right now, and we only have 90 days, which is a short amount of time to solve some problems. We need to forget about the partisan politics and bluster, and we identify the problems, and we just need to come up with solutions. And that's where the partisan stuff comes in. As Sesso said, there's very little that we actually disagree on. We just had this eggs breakfast that, I would say that I was very pleased to hear from the Speaker of the House that he and I are we have the same priorities for this session. It's just a matter of how we get there. And honestly, the hottest metal, the hottest fire makes the best steel. So it's good that we have that difference in opinion.
Where do things give? From the Democrat side of the aisle, I get it. Okay, the governor wants pre-K, wants to start this pre-K, expand this pre-K program across the state. Hey, K through 12. I mean, even I saw Superintendent of Public Instruction, Elsie Arson, was here. She wants to see some of these these K through 12 cuts restored. Health and Human Services just got schwacked in the special session about a year ago. Medicaid expansion. I mean, at some point, you're a former school teacher. At some point, there's probably going to come a decision. Well, we don't have enough money for all of these things. So is it pre-K or is it K through 12? Is it Medicaid expansion or is it K through 12? What gives?
Well, I would say that, and we always say that the thing about a state budget that we have to balance is it's a values-based document. So I think that everything's on the table. As a dad of three children, 5, 3, and 1, 2 of which are actually on the autism spectrum, I, in Great Falls, enjoy the public preschool. I see a huge value with that. One of our sons, actually both, but one specifically, made no eye contact. He exhibited very traditionally what people would think of, when they think of a child that could use some services. And now, I mean, he reads at 5 years old, and that is indicative of his time in a preschool. That is services to the state that later on will not have to be covered. So there's a cost benefit associated with that program specifically. But at the end of the day, I think that we need to stop putting it pre-K versus K-12, because there's a lot of other things the state of Montana does. There's times we believe in efficient government as well. We don't come out front, and somehow we've allowed the Republicans to take on that mantra. But Montanans in general don't want to be overtaxed. They don't want to pay too much for the services that are provided, but they do expect the services in government to provide something. So I'm not really sure what those are. I think that's the whole point of the legislative sessions. We're going to come in, and hopefully we can come to an agreement in a majority manner of what we prioritize, what the people of Montana see as value, and we move forward.
I got to get your take on 2020 while we got you here, because obviously everybody wants to focus on the legislative session, should be, and they are getting that done out of the way first. But obviously, hey, 2020 is right around the corner, and it seems like I've been hearing some of the thing from folks on both sides of the aisle that, man, the Republicans got a lot of people that are potentially running in 2020. The question is, who are the potential statewide candidates for the Democrats in 2020? So any thoughts on that?
Not really, and I'll tell you, I actually kind of find it offensive that we've started before the session even started. People are saying, and I will say it has been the majority, is saying, hey, the whole point of this legislative session is to get a Republican governor in 2021 and to have Republicans control all 3 houses in 2021. Because at the end of the day, we have 100,000 people who are really nervous about what's going to happen. I think we get Medicaid expansion accomplished. I think everyone understands that whether you believed in it in the beginning or not, once it's out there, it would be devastating to pull away. But there are real issues we have to solve in the next 4 months. So 2020, I mean, talk to me in May,
and there's going to be crazy
answer.
Bills on both sides of the aisle. I'd imagine that would derail anything in a heartbeat too.
We got to be pragmatic. We got to be solutions oriented. And at the end of the day, 2020 is Unfortunately, these election cycles have become nonstop. That's a long ways away. We are not focused on that at all, and we are going to push and push pretty hard against these conversations.